I'm not sure if you felt this at all when you've been making your games, but I just looked back and I realized that I have been working on my current project, Hexagod, for about 6 months now. And on a larger scale, I have been a full-time indie developer for about 8 months now and have 0 games to show. Although I do have 2 Game Jam games, which were made for the GMTK Game Jam and the Ludum Dare Game Jam, as well as a pretty good prototype for a mining and crafting game, which I plan on taking all that learning forward and turning into some sort of like an incremental idle type mining game in the future. But I've been thinking about this a lot. Why does it take so long to make a game? And the honest truth is I have no idea. I've only made 1 commercial game and I've made a bunch of small little projects, but I don't think I'm coming from an experience of all this deep wealth of working on all these various size teams and stuff like that. Heck, I'm just a solo developer because that keeps my own costs low, and I have some anxiety and imposter syndrome about trying to go get a job in the game industry. So I'm not 100% sure why, in general, it might take long to make a AAA game. I have thoughts and feelings, and I could probably rant about this for a while, but I think the more valuable perspective for you, because you might be a solo developer as well, is from my perspective, why does it take me so long to make a game? And that's simply put, the time it takes to explore ideas for what works in the game. A lot of people will say go out and make a paper prototype of your game and do things in the physical world because you can get some feel for balance and things like that. But I don't know. I kind of sometimes have an idea and I need to feel it in a digital sense to see if it works on a digital scale. Does it work in a game setting? Like, if the game is managing the resources and the health and stuff like that, if I go and put it into a physical sense, I'm managing those things, and then my feelings for the game get mixed up. And there's probably places for paper prototyping, but like I want to explore the game space by kind of putting a lot of stuff into the game and seeing what works, giving it to other people, because I can't ship you my paper prototype. I have to. That's the great thing about the internet. For all the bad stuff out there and the unintended consequences, we can share a lot of our experiences like super quickly. And that's super helpful for solo developers to get feedback on what works and what doesn't work. And I think that is the true cost of time. Hey, Aarimous from the future here. If you want to support the channel any further, the best way to do that is to go play the new version of the demo over on Steam, and make sure while you're there to wishlist the game. It helps the Steam algorithm know, and when the game gets closer to release, it's going to help me even further get some more players so I can keep making you great content. If not, you watching this video is more than enough for me. Thank you. If you've been following this channel for a little bit, you've been seeing me work on Hexagod, and one of the biggest things I've done in the past 6 months of working on this that felt so weird is I basically threw away a month of work, which was a huge, expansive combat system, which would have allowed the villagers to die through combat and have to equip weapons to them and tools to make them into farmers versus fighters. And that would have been an interesting story to be told, but it didn't stick with the core vibe of the game, and it simply wasn't working. I was having a hard time making it feel fun and good. And so I listened to those emotions, I listened to some of your feedback, and I ripped it out. But I needed to go down that path. The creative process isn't a straight line. And so I would wager that the reason it takes so long to make a lot of games is because it takes a lot of time to understand what is working and what is not working. And realistically, what is adding to the core experience of a game. Even if it's as expansive of a game as Ashes of Creation, you're seeing them go in and do these big alpha tests and these big moments where they're saying, hey, this is an unfinished game. We need to cook on it for a little bit. But as they're cooking, it's a necessary evil to go and get feedback on the game to see what works and what doesn't work. And so as a solo developer, I'm trying to scope my games, scope my projects real small, so that even though it's going to take me some time, maybe like 9 months, it's going to be kind of the sweet spot for a game like Hexagod. It certainly took me about 10 months to get, 10 to 12 months to get my first game, Chess Survivors, fully released and ready to go. That included some full-time work to get into early access, and then about like 9 months of hobbyist work, which I'd boil down to like 2 months of full-time work spanned over 10 months. So like a total of probably a year of work on Chess Survivors. And I'm just wrapping up kind of the 6 month of Hexagod, planning to get that game released in March. So if you're sitting there as well, struggling against this, like, why is it taking me so long? Know that that's okay. Know that that feels, for me, that feels like the normal path forward to like be putting something in, playing with it, trying to massage it in, and then ultimately potentially removing it because it's not fitting with the game. We're trying 5 different things, throwing all 5 out, trying a new 5 things, and still throwing those 5 things out. And that's just the price we pay for trying to make something good. I think you need to experiment, you need to play with things. And if paper prototyping is that path forward for you, that's awesome. For me, that's not what's going to work really well, especially because I have so much already built out in the game. So it can pay for me to explore a little bit in this space and see what's working and what's not working. If you have any tips below about how to maybe save time and stuff like that, I guess I don't really care because I'm going to just keep exploring this space. So leave your comments below about your thoughts and feelings. Go check out Hexagod. The demo is live. I'm trying to do patches, really small patches every so often, like maybe every couple days, trying to get small tweaks and improvements to the game so that I can scale to the release date in March. Until next time, I've been Aarimous. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck out there. This shit's hard. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.